Hey, it's Domain Day from cheapwinefinder.com. Coming at you again with another wine review. Giving the drummer a little bit there. And this time we got a wine that's kind of a fall winter wine. Let me grab the bottle. It's the Michael and David Petite Petit 2019. It's actually a Petite Sirah, but it has a blend of 85% Petite Sirah and 15% Petite Verdot, which is why there's two petites, even though they're one spelled with an E and the other without. And it's, even though they kind of sound a lot alike, and they have, petite means they have smaller berries, they're two grapes that you don't normally see hanging out together. And it's a really tasty wine. I just took a sip because I was thinking about it. I'll give you a little, there's a backstory here. Wines that have a story always taste better. And Petite Sirah has an interesting story, and it's kind of like a underdog wine. Back in the 1800s, France had all sorts of problems in the vineyards. The climate change, there was pests, there was disease, there was mold. They literally had to go to Rioja and kind of upgrade Rioja's vineyards. There's kind of a sleepy local wine place in Spain just to keep the wine coming, because their vineyards are having so many problems. So, Bordeaux has all sorts of, you can read up about that, but a man named Durf in Rome decided that since the Syrah grape was having a problem, he was going to cross it with a grape called, I think, Pursan. I've never heard it pronounced before, and I've never seen it in a wine. But that grape was healthy and hardy, and the Syrah grape needed some help. So he went about, doing the cross fertilization and doing all his work, and it takes a few vintages to get it right. And by the time he got it right, well, the problem in Rhone cleared up. There was no need for Petite Sirah. Syrah was doing just fine. So he just put all that work into a grape that nobody wanted. And it somehow got to Australia, where it's called Durf, and to California. And it's kind of like the secret weapon. You see it added to Zinfandel wines quite a bit. It'll be like 90% Zinfandel, 10% Petite Sirah. It's a secret weapon in a lot of red blends, and you also see it in the new bolder-style Pinot Noirs. So it's a wine that you probably drank a lot of and didn't know it. So that goes over to Petite Verdot. Petite Verdot is one of the grapes that is approved for Bordeaux blends. Let me have another sip. This is a good wine. And if you ever look at the back or check out percentages in a Bordeaux blend, it's usually some kind of mixture of Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot. That's the whole beauty of that Bordeaux wine, is how those two wines interact in them. You get a good shot of Cabernet Franc, which ties everything together, and you'll get like 2% Petite Verdot. I asked a winemaker one time, why bother? And he says, well, everything you do to a wine changes it. And when you're looking for something that's exactly the way you want it, well, 2% will do the trick. And one of the reasons they only put a couple of percentages in there is the name. Like the petite means small. It means the berries are smaller. But Verdot is green. Verts are green beans in France. This is a red grape. That small green tells you everything you need to know about it. It doesn't get ripe. It has such a long growing season, and that can be an issue in Bordeaux, to where only a small percentage of what they grow turns out, which is why you only get 2% to put in the Bordeaux blends. But when you grow it in Lodi, like the Petite Petit, it gets ripe. The climate's completely different, and Petit Verdot kind of thrives. And I got a feeling we're going to see more Petit Verdot wines coming out of California, but it takes some time because people don't go to the store looking for California Petit Verdot. But what does it do to this wine? It makes a delicious, smooth, rich wine with some weight and some depth. Not quite as spicy as Zinfandel, but it has some delicious spice. It does very well for itself. This is a great tasting wine. That 93 points the 2018 vintage got, I believe it. And I don't know what the 2019 vintage has, but it drinks really well. I'm going to take another sip. A 3-sip wine. It's smoky, it's dark, it's brooding, it's got full flavor. Michael and David, who's the winery here, have been around since the 1850s. The people who run it now are 5th generation in the wine industry, and the 6th generation is actually working there. It's one of those situations where it's been around forever. And they make really good wines. And one good thing about making good wines is, what's the difference between a good Napa Valley wine and a good Bordeaux wine, or a good Sonoma wine, or a good Lodi wine? Well, the one, I'm not sure the difference is, but I know what's good about them is that they're good wine. This is a good wine. This thing drinks like a $25 to $35 wine. It's got depth. It's got richness. It's got what you want in a fall heavy-duty wine with some weight in it. So, what can you say? Tastes good. Costs. It's cheaper than it should be. It's a well-priced wine. The $18 list is a good price, and I got it for $13. That's crazy. And with the holidays coming up, these wines are going to be available for good prices. And like I said, full price is still a bargain. So there you go. That's me, Domain Dave, talking about a fall wine with some weight and depth to it. And an interesting story about Petite Petit, how two kind of odd grapes got together and did something pretty nice. So that's it for me. Keep it cheap. Stay safe, stay warm, and I'll be talking to you before too long. And adios. Bye-bye.